no veas, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Tuesday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, the Chaos Awakes event has been underway for a while in the game now. It's pretty impossible to ignore just from the fact that the Bastion alone has changed to reflect the fact that a demonic invasion or something along the lines of that is taking place. But while this kind of looks cool, has it actually been cool for people who've been taking part in it? And the answer may be no. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look over to Plarium Play, the launcher itself, and there has been a poll. The event dungeon has had a few residents by now. Which one was your favourite? Either Odin Faefather, which was the original, Queen of Hearts as part of Alice's Adventure, or Kurosa the Covetous as part of Chaos Awakes. And I voted Queen of Hearts because that was the only one I took part in. Odin, I just didn't bother, and Kurosa is only at 15% of a vote, so that means that 85% of the people who have taken part in this and were around for Odin, or at least I'd imagine they were, have decided that they like this one less than the others. So, why is this? So first off, we're going to go into the game itself and to the dungeon, all the way over to event dungeon, and oh, yeah, I just haven't done it at all. Yeah, really, I haven't even cleared stage 1. It's because even stage 1's too difficult for me, right? No. This has a few problems, let's just say. And they're not even to do with the difficulty, because yes, stage 30 of this is significantly harder than it was for Queen of Hearts or for Odin Faefather, but if content's worth doing, people will stick through it regardless, because after all, there's Pinpoint, right? Yeah, that's a thing. Pinpoint has seen better, more relevant days in the game. Back then, it was used as a anti-polymorph tool for various buff strippers or debuffers so they wouldn't get polymorphed. But ever since Wand of Submission has been in the game, and everyone has at least one of them because they gave it one for free, which I agree with, by the way, I think they should have done that, polymorph has seen less and less usage in favour of Lightning Cage or other blessings. Now, for those who aren't sure what Wand of Submission does, if you've really been living that much under a rock, then it does this. And this goes all the way up to 50% chance, so yeah, every time Polymorph would trip, there's a coin flip back, it goes back on the person who was Polymorph in the first place. Which is a game-losing occurrence, so people just choose not to risk that, and they roll the Lightning Cage instead, which is the only actual way to deal with all the bush strippers, including Anomaly, who doesn't even need to check accuracy and has a guaranteed stone skin strip. I'm not joking, really. You'd think that this checks accuracy, or that this does usual 50-50 on stone skin. It does neither of those. He uses this, all of your stone skin is gone, and then you are sad. But on the topic of relics like Wand of Submission, that is one of the other things that is the reason why this event is not popular. Now, back during Alice's Adventure, everyone and their mother was running this, not just for Pinpoint, but because of the event relic, the Cat's Gaze, where it ignores 10% of target's defense when attacking enemies with higher max HP, and this scales up to 20%. So for everyone apart from HP nukers in Arena, which were going against obvious people who had less max HP than them, this was free, completely free, 20% ignore defense that also gave you 40% crit damage. It was a massive relic, and people took every chance they could to get that, even if they would end up with things like Hatch of Reserve, or they would end up getting like Aspects or Gold Crescents instead, so they were not quite as happy about it. They gave it a go. But we look over to the event relics for Chaos Awakes, and again, gonna do this. First off, Gilded Opinion. Sure, it gives speeds, it gives a bit of damage reduction, but damage dealers hit so hard nowadays that if they're hitting you with this and you're protected, you're gonna die whether you have 20% DR or 0 from not having Gilded Opinion in the first place. Skull of Treason does extra damage for HP burn, which is decent, but it's not quite as widespread use as Cat's Gaze, which can go on any damage dealer at all, HP burn or not. And honestly, someone like Ninja is going to be using Cat's Gaze anyway, so yeah. And then you have the Mythicals. Both of the Mythicals are very good, I'm not going to question that. However, they are Mythicals. You're going to get them much, much less than you're going to get Legendaries. And when the Legendaries are not quite as good as the Cat's Gaze was, and oh yeah, regarding crafting lows, so right now, I've mistimed this slightly because there isn't a Kurosa's Conquest tournament on, even if it would look like it. But you see these relic pieces here? You don't get those for participation. You have to get top 3 or I think first place in the group. Like, I will show you the last one that was an RSL helper because we can see it there. And actually, is it here? No, it's not. But the milestone rewards didn't give you relic pieces. So if you wanted the relic pieces, then this does nothing for you. If you don't care about Pinpoint, then this does nothing for you. And if you weren't doing the Titan event, which I have given my thoughts on, and as you can tell, I have scored a whole 0 out of 0 demon points so far, then yeah, again, this does nothing for you. So that is the reason why I have just not bothered. And in terms of Pinpoint, there are 2 champions I have it on. The first of which is Calvalax, who I have it as a 4-piece, even though he's banned pretty much every single live arena match where my opponent's team isn't entirely in stone skin, so at that point, a Pinpoint does nothing anyway. And the other is, if I go into my vault, is going to be my Ramontu Drake's Blood, who I use entirely for classic arena farming. Nothing too serious because he's not great into Lightning Cage, and it's just because people that do have random 1-star polymorphs and whatnot, and I'd rather not trip them. But past that, no one who I actually use in live arena or anywhere where I'm trying to win against anything coherent has it. So yeah, that is why I haven't done the event dungeon whatsoever, and I still won't continue to do so because there's just nothing here that I want. Even if they cut out all of these other gear sets here, it's just Pinpoint. Would I bother then? Maybe, but when 5 out of 6 times I'm getting nothing more or less in terms of actual gear sets, like, yeah, getting the accessories isn't too bad, but the actual pieces themselves are much more difficult. Yeah, you get what I'm going for here. And the fact that if we go over to the Plarium play poll again, which shows that 85% of people would have been much happier if they reran Odin or Queen of Hearts, and yeah. Now, what should Plarium do to fix this? I'm not even going to bother saying, because, put it this way, they won't listen to me, they won't listen to anyone else, none of the big content creators either, so they're going to do what they want, and I'm sure there's a few pay pigs who are there doing this 24 hours a day trying to get like mythical Pinpoint banners and whatnot, but I mean, they'll buy anything, so what they do or don't buy doesn't really have much bearing on the rest of us. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. The event dungeon is not very good. Too much work for worse reward than last time, and yeah, it's a skip from me. Right, we're done. See ya.